morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the Southern Magic Podcast. I am joined tonight by Will, Josh, Drew, and Johnny. So we have a full crew here tonight. Say hi, y'all.
No.
Hello.
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 Negative. Matt, I need to show you something cool I got.
What?
Okay, so last week,
Man,
February
Matt
20th
had a plan, dude. What are you doing?
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're in the icebreaker portion of the podcast.
Showing him things. I want to show him cool things. So I went to MagicCon Chicago. I'm saying it's a magic related. I went to MagicCon Chicago and Judge, and I only ruined 4 of the 5 events that I was in. It was really cool. But look at this playmat they got me. Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna let Drew use
Ooh.
this. Yeah.
That
It's
is
a nice
nice.
one.
That is pretty
Yeah.
cool. It
Drew's
has your
gonna
name
wear-
on it.
Yeah, Drew sometimes wears my name tag, which has gotten them in trouble before.
I do. Really?
So they wore my name tag, and it was my only name tag I had, and corporate was coming the next day. So Drew had to come all the way from Tuscaloosa, which is about 45, 50 minutes from where I am, to give me my name tag and then leave. My boss was upset.
That is unfortunate.
Was this the same name tag that got passed around for 6 months?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I now have 4
back in the
of them.
BCS days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rip.
But yeah, I got this cool playmat.
God, I wish this soundbite came through. This would have been so perfect for that. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna play it just for the viewers, and you'll hear it on the video, but I don't know why it won't come through on voice mod. It's the Shark Tank stinger sound, and it's so funny. It's the that one.
No.
Wow,
You'll
we didn't
hear
anything.
You'll hear.
We
it.
didn't
Okay.
hear anything.
I don't know.
I
believe you.
I'll work on it.
None of y'all have been to a MagicCon, right?
No, sir.
It was interesting. It was an interesting time because, like I said, I was judging it. There's a lot of events that you can tell were made more for casuals. There was literally an event that was just a sealed event, but you get free mulligans. That's it. And it was like $50, and it was like $50 for a sealed event where literally the only rule was that you can have I think it was 2-3 free mulligans or something like that. And the worst part was I took a judge call and it was across the room and they were asking about the mulligans. I'm like, no, it's 1v1. You don't do that. And then they appealed me.
What rules, you sons of bitches?
I was upset. I was so upset because I was like, man, I was just trying to help these people, and all these stupid rules, all that they're adding to the game. And
That's what you get for trying to help.
Bitches.
Yeah, I've got so much.
How many times did you get appealed over the weekend?
But
Go ahead.
I was asking how many times did you get appealed over the weekend?
that was the only time. I was mostly judging commander events, which was interesting. I had somebody. I had the only awkward call that I had was this girl asked for a refund because she said, and I quote, "These people I'm playing with are assholes."
What's your argument?
It was a commander constructed event where the quote literally said, "Bring your best deck." The funniest part is the people she was playing against. It was our Dothan friends. She called 2 of our Dothan friends.
Rip.
Judge, my opponents are assholes. I'm sure they were. They were Magic players.
So we quoted her because this game, this event they were in, you get tickets at the start of round 1, tickets at the start of round 2. You don't get any more if you win or lose. So you just have those tickets, and she just said, "I want my money back. I'm not having fun." So I'm gonna use that in Charlotte this weekend, where I'm gonna
just go 0-2 and be like, guys, I want my money back. I'm just not having any fun.
I would call that
My opponent was
false
an asshole
advertising.
and beat the shit out of me.
Pretty much, because the best part was she got mad because he played a Chrome Mox. He never used the Chrome Mox. He just played a Chrome Mox. And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know we were playing Seed."
He got so mad that it was just, yeah, I don't know. It sounds like CEDH tournaments are such a treat to judge. I look forward to
It was just regular Commander though,
It was
wasn't
just
it?
an FNM. It was
Oh,
literally.
that's
an event
even
we ran on
worse.
Tuesday where they got a promo pack and they got 2,600 tickets, which is enough for a collector booster, and I think it cost $25. So you basically turn $25 into a collector booster and all that.
Yeah,
But
whenever CDH and Casual Commander collide, it's always a delicious treat because you're always gonna have someone that's just gonna be all sweaty and just going to turn one Chrome Mox, Ristic Study, or whatever the hell, and then you're gonna have someone that just plays Terramorphic Expanse, and it's always it's just the best. I enjoy those moments just for the uncomfortable board states that happen.
That's the game.
It was interesting, but I encourage y'all if y'all haven't been to a MagicCon, it was a ton of fun. Just it's weird because like there's a couple of competitive events, but it's mostly just all side events, and the vendor hall is amazing. Like there was like 12 to 15 artists, which oh my god, the person that did Thassa's Oracle, he was there where the line cut off, and then there was another line that also cut off to get into the other line. And I was looking at, I think it was one of our friends' Force Denials, and I looked at it, I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with those lines at those Magic Cons for artist signatures. It's like I guess like I like the fact that they do them. It's the fact that you get in there and then you're behind like the person who has an entire trade binder of stuff. Like there needs to be a cutoff. Like I think 8 is an appropriate number for a cutoff.
I was gonna say I wish Trey was here because he has an awesome story about being behind someone for was it Arcade Post?
Like behind the door over here, but anyway, the worst one was this guy. It was a Jeff Miracola, and he does like a couple of different arts. I think he does Ancient Copper Dragon. Anyways, I was getting crystal sprays signed for my friend's Dan deck, and there's like 8 people in front of me. It took over an hour to get this signed. The girl in front of me she didn't have any cards with her. She got 12 tokens that she wanted shadow signed front and back, which is $240 plus the price of the tokens. And I'm like, I have 2 cards. Please. I've been standing this is the 3rd day. I'm about to collapse. This is a little exaggeration. My feet hurt.
Oh, damn it. I thought I had...
What is Wingstop?
I was so mad because she just had it signed, and literally like when I got to the line, I literally threw the cards at him. I'm like, please sign these.
Here's my money.
Just take my money. Shut up.
Don't ask me any questions.
One of them was like a cat and dog token. She's like, I got this because they look like my cat and dogs. Do you want to see a picture of them? And the artist goes, yes. And I'm like,
I mean, from the artist's perspective, though, she just shelled out $250. He's gonna look at a fucking picture, you know.
He's thinking of the Mirage and all the other places in Vegas. Like
I was there. My thing took like 3 minutes.
Maybe you should have showed him pictures of your animals.
You're right. I should have showed him pictures of my.
Show him the Shrock.
I'll show him the Shrock. I'll be like, look at this. Don't go. Please leave.
You see they're bringing back Shrocks.
Pictures of all of us.
Yes, I saw that they're bringing back that, and I've seen a lot of people just kind of guessing the plot of Shrek 5.
It's so bad.
Most of them seem like it could be pretty accurate.
Dad, you just don't understand me.
I genuinely when that
it's gonna be the plot of the Croods.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
that
Bullied them into the original animation yet?
Not yet. We're working on that. So
when that picture dropped of the trailer, I genuinely thought it was AI generated. I thought it was.
Did you see the ad? Did you see the
where they're scrolling through like Tinder?
They're scrolling through the Snapchat filters of Shrek.
Oh.
And
I saw that, and like I saw it with my wife, and she's like, "A new Shrek movie?" And I was like, "No, this is not real. Don't. This is fake. Don't worry about it." And then it came, and then it was real, and it was real, and I was like, I guess this is where we're at now.
I feel like it's
I would call that false advertising.
False advertising.
Like when you see fan art of like Pokemon, you're like, "This is so cool," and then you see the real one, and you're like, "Well, that's." Why is the duck dance like that?
Yeah, it's
which
it was
Pokemon
rough.
are you talking about specifically, Will?
Quavel. I hate that thing.
Well, I think that to kind of transition into our one of our main topics of the night is this weekend. By the time this is getting posted, we should be on our way up. Me and I think me and Will are the only ones on this call that are going to Charlotte. Are you going, Josh?
I will not. I will not be able
Okay.
to attend.
Okay.
Winning is a pre-qualifying task you have to do. So, no, I will not be there.
Well,
You win an RCQ one.
yeah, you can do an LCQ. You can run that.
Don't give me hope.
But yeah, so this weekend is Charlotte. The RC or
I
SCG
have a
Con RC. Yeah, go ahead.
A fun one for you. Do you know what promo we're getting? Because it took me 6 links to figure out what promo we're getting there.
Cross-person keeper.
Give me a second.
Okay. Would you like a hint? I can tell you what the promo we got for that season was.
It was Mayhem Devil,
that-
wasn't that? Or no, I'm thinking of the RCQ
So
participation.
the one we qualified for was Sleight of Hand and Supreme Verdict.
Oh Jesus,
So
that
there's
was a
another
long time
promo.
ago.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a while ago. So, you have any idea?
Give me a hint.
It's blue.
Is it a
Okay.
what type is it?
It's 7 mana.
7 mana.
Omniscience? Oh no, that's 10, huh?
Nope.
Oldbreak Horror?
No, it's not a creature.
It's not a creature. 7 mana.
I believe
not
it's an-
forced fruition.
Nope, I believe it's an instant.
Is it dig through time?
Is it that rebound, draw a bunch of cards or
Nope.
whatever?
I give up.
See, the blue season. The blue season. That would be
is.
funny.
It is Nexus of Fate.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. It took me
that's a blast from the
a
past.
while to find that, by the way.
That is a choice.
Speaking of promos, I didn't know that each Spotlight series is going to have their own unique promo.
Yeah.
I thought everyone was getting Terror of the Peaks, so I got rid of my Terror of the Peaks for lunch.
Oh, you did. It's like $70.
Yeah. I was like,
And we
I
got
gotta
a
get rid of
dragon
it
set
now
coming out too.
before everyone else gets their Terror of the Peaks. Turns out it was just Atlanta that got terrors. So
Yeah.
that's fun. That's a fun thing to learn.
Yeah, because the one in Colorado, which someone's trying to convince me to go to, and I'm like, I'll think about it. But that one is sort of Forge and Frontier, I think.
Yeah, one of the swords. Yeah.
Part of me
Yeah.
was looking at
This is
like.
why
Go ahead, Drew.
I said this will sell cards. As soon as I sell one,
you
it's
never
going to
sell
spike
cards.
in price.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
sell
I
all your
never sell
Merfolk and
cards.
see what happens. They're just going to release Mox Merfolk.
Mm.
Have to add a Merfolk.
Merfolk box, a 1-mana lord,
Can't
Yeah.
be countered.
but also gives everything hexproof.
It can't be countered.
And it's also Flage. And
We got
it also
Mox.
doesn't have
We got
everything.
Mox Dragon, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes, Mox
That's
Jasper.
dragon.
Mox
Yeah,
Jasper.
So does it tap to add a mana for a dragon, or does it tap to add if you control a
If you
dragon?
control
If you
dragon.
control
Ah,
it.
okay.
Control
Okay.
Like people were playing around with it for like changelings to see if it's going to be any good and all that. So
Well, free mana has never been a mistake before, so
it's true. Yeah,
I'm
it's
still waiting for Mox Tantalite to get its big break.
Oh yeah,
you need to talk to Jordan Lingo.
You know where it's been played? It's a good bit of play in Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, 'cause that's where it's legal. It's a penny.
It'll be a penny for a bit.
You have to pay the person to get that off of you.
Yeah.
I'm
Not even a pretty penny. It's just a
Yeah,
normal
I will
penny.
pay you $1. Get this out of my binder.
Mox
Well,
Tantalite.
I part of me, I was actually looking at dragons the other night because like I it seems like I remember there was when Dragons of Tarkir came out, there was some, I think it was Stormbreath Dragon may have gone up in price, or maybe I can't remember if that was rotated out. I was just trying to look at like existing dragons to see if there was any worth getting, and like besides Terror, there's really not any. There's that one weird 5-mana one that like doubles all damage. I thought about getting some of those, but I really don't know if that's going to be
That's
good
actually
enough.
Pretty good. You were the first one
What is
to.
that?
You were really one of the first ones to say that Oculus was a good card.
Which one?
I remember you bought a Porn Oculus.
Oh, yeah.
You got Ketramos really early on.
Yeah, I did. I
Oh.
got them for 40, which they're dancing around 40. So I think I'd snagged them at what they're going to stay at though. They jumped up to like 60 for a minute though, but then I guess they kind of people figured out
Yeah,
this card's
Hype bubble.
hard.
Matt,
I
what
should
are
have
you running?
capitalized on my Storm Chasers talents when they spiked
Yeah.
to like $20 a piece.
What are they right now? Like 10?
They're still around 10, yeah.
That's not bad.
Are
I got 'em
Thorium
for, like,
Council back down to
20
like
cents.
whatever penny they're supposed to be?
Not the $8. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were $8 for a point.
Or
Yeah.
Will, you were with us when we found the one vendor trying to sell an Authority the consoles for like $18 in
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever beat Eternal Weekend. If you had a ghost vacuum at Eternal Weekend, it was like Assassin's Creed when you're giving the coins to like the poor people. Like you could literally just go ghost vacuum, and you would just have people come up to you because you needed that for the main event, and no one had them.
Yeah, you could have sold one of those for $20 that
You
week.
could have. You absolutely could have.
And the card sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is it still being
Anyways,
played?
back. Yeah, it's still. I mean, it's all through standard. Like that's the graveyard hate of choice for some reason, even though Soul Guide exists.
Legacy, it's still around just because Reanimator is still kicking at tier 1. It just refuses to die. So,
Yeah. Until you get rid of Entomb, I mean, people talked
been
about
around forever.
Entomb getting banned. I don't know.
I
That's
don't
like
know. What set that deck off was the Surveil lands. Like being able to just go haha and then just RNG your way into an Atraxa into the yard.
Getting that turn to Atraxa.
I mean,
yeah.
a free Entomb essentially. It just those little micro edges just push the deck over the top, and yeah, I mean it's still good. It's a lot more manageable though now that Frog isn't around. Like you can do hard graveyard hate, and the deck kind of just falls apart. But
Yeah.
but yeah, Ghost Vacuum, that's the only format I know it sees play. And of course, standard, like Johnny said.
Well, looking forward to Modern this weekend. Yeah, the format is Modern. Go ahead.
What are you running?
I'm just going to do Murktide.
Or are you gonna run just blue black?
Just blue black. I mean, heaven knows I really want to run Ragavan again, but like blue black with Frog is just way too good to give up. And we've been testing for a couple weeks now, and I was kind of like looking at different lists and trying out different things. And honestly, there's going to be a lot of graveyard hate, and because of Oculus, while it's like really good in those tempo decks, I just feel like right now it's just such a liability to play right now. And
Well, it's such that Ketramos is one of the most popular cards where they're main decking Relic and Progenitus.
exactly, yeah. And it sounds I know it sounds absolutely insane to say, but Murktide, the card Murktide Regent, handles graveyard hate a lot better than Oculus does, because
Is the RC open deck list?
It is.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because if it wasn't, like, if they see your Dimir deck, they're gonna assume Oculus and probably just hold graveyard hate forever. And then you
exactly,
kind of
and that's
get in with Murktide.
That's the idea. Is like that people they'll hold their endurance, they'll hold their whatever that they'll hold up their relic, they'll hold up their Nile Spellbomb for you to go pitch Oculus, reanimate. Whereas instead with Murktide, you just okay, cool, delve away. Here's a 5/5 or an 8/8 or whatever.
Nice
And,
endurance, idiot.
Graveyard hate is just so hard to play against delve spells, because like as soon as they have whatever 5 cards in the graveyard, it's live for the rest of the game now.
Yeah.
You don't want to use it right away, because then they just refill the graveyard.
That's why if you're an
It's just-
astute,
it's-
if you're
it's
an
tough.
astute Relic of Progenitus player, you always just tap it, even
Yep.
when it seems like it's doing
Yeah.
nothing. Just it's free to do. You just
It's free to
tap
do,
it,
yep.
target them, get it out of their graveyard. Because again, if you just get lazy with it, like you said, Matt, they'll just get a couple instant sources.
Yeah.
You won't even think about it. And once they get priority back, now they have a 6/6 Murktide that you could have dealt with, but you wouldn't know to, because I mean it just kind of came out of nowhere. So
You were also saying last Wednesday, Matt, that like against a good relic player, or good endurance, whatever, like Oculus is literally just a dead card sometimes. Like you can't do anything with it. You can't cast it. You can't do anything. But Murktide is always at least in theory castable.
Yeah, unless there is like a perpetual exile effect in play, like Rest in Peace or Leyline, you're almost always going to have a window to be able to play Murktide, and I think that's the thing that makes it appealing to me. Plus, I just feel like, I just prefer the Murktide builds a lot more than the Oculus builds. Oculus is really good. Like when it was the new kid on the block, that was a house to play. But I just feel like
the Murktide, you also don't have to play like Unearths in your deck, which
exactly
feels so off plan for that type of deck. I feel like.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's my plan.
Matt, I have a question. One more question for you, Matt. Apart from Frog and Murktide, what are your other threats? Just Bowmaster and
Bowmaster. So you have Bowmaster, Frog, Murktide. I'm playing 2 Tamios, and I'm also playing Subtlety. Subtlety's gone in the main again, and I'm also doing Kaito. I'm doing mainboard Kaitos because I got to Johnny when I was playing Johnny. I got to he cast a Grist. I hard cast a Subtlety, swung with Subtlety, and then ninjutsu'd in Kaito, bouncing Subtlety back to my hand. And that is just such a bonkers thing to do. I was like, Kaito's good.
Fun.
Kaito's good, especially when you have like Bowmaster and Subtlety. And so I'm gonna give him a try. Plus it can keep Ketramos kind of locked down. I'm mainly scared of Grindstone. Grindstone's so annoying. I hate that deck so much.
Yeah. Grinding Breach.
Breach, Grinding Breach. But that's enough about me. What about you? What do you think you're gonna rock, or do you know what you're playing yet?
I am gonna be on Blink. So I'm gonna be doing the Orzhov stuff. It's such a fun deck. There's 2 variations of the deck where one of them is the Aether Vial Recruiter the Guard plan. So basically it's more like a toolboxy, go get your silver bullets whenever you need it. Have Aether Vial so you can always have it up at instant speed, all that stuff. Or it's the version that's Ketramos, which will be, Ketramos and Relic of Progenitus instead of the Aether Vials and Recruiter the Guards. So I'm leaning towards the Aether Vial version because Recruiter of the Guard is good on its own. Aether Vial is good on its own. I feel like Relic is only good if you have Ketramos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Ketramos is fine if you don't have Relic. If you have Ketramos, you need to have like Emperor Bones or just some kind of exile effect to just keep it going. But I'm also thinking about putting Bowmasters in the main now because Ketramos is so prevalent. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking of right now. It's gonna be white black, and there's going to be about 10 changes that's gonna happen to the deck before I get everything. I put up on my sideboard cards, so.
All I know is watching you play the Ketramos version against Kenny on Breach the other day. It looked real bad. I don't know if you just had bad draws, if Kenny was
bad draws,
had
really,
answers. Yeah,
it's just such a completely different deck. I mean, you can't. It's not it blinks obviously, but you're not as tempo-y as you are with the other deck. Like this one, it's just you're raw grinding them out of the game with Ketramos. So
it really felt like the Ketramos version felt like every time I've played against it, seen it played, whatever, feels like if you don't have the Felia Overlord, combo, you're kind of not doing anything most of the time.
That's how I felt. So here's my theory. I think that this deck is going to do really well, but it's only going to be a select few players that get hot. Because if you have that combo and then you're able to follow up with Ketramos, it's good. But I feel like most of the players are going to be drawing, their 3rd Relic of Progenitus and saying this deck sucks. So because it's just a redraw, it's just 2 mana draw card.
That's the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the rest of us, I know Josh loves Modern. If we were going to Atlanta or Charlotte, not Atlanta, what would you be playing?
I would play the Orzhov Blink deck, or honestly, I would probably get talked into the Orzhov mid-range deck because even though the deck does have a fail rate. If you don't, you might get catcher most, no relic. You might get relic, no catcher most. But the raw power that deck has is just it is outstanding. Like you just watch, I've seen that deck just overpower energy, and energy has everything it has going for it. I've seen it overpower the Ocelot Pride Guide of Souls interaction where it doesn't care.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what I would play, just because Ketramos is so strong. Like
outside of control, it also seems like a lot of like. It seems like your style to me too, from what I've seen you play.
It's so strong. It's so strong. I don't know if I could ignore it. But if you do play the Vile version, I think there's no fault in doing that. I think that's also a good deck. So to me, it'd probably be a coin toss between Blink and just Orzhov mid range.
I need to know the 3 Moto users in the year of our Lord 2025 that are still playing blue-white control in Modern. There was one Miracles list that went 5-0. Did you see it? You saw it? Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that the guy, I don't remember his name, but the guy who 5-0'd with Miracles, like 2 days ago, posted how much he hated Modern. Modern is so bad right now. He can't believe how bad Modern is. He 5-0'd with Miracles and quoted his tweet and was like, "Just kidding, Modern's back," and shared the list of Miracles.
Modern is way too cost efficient right now for control to ever be considerably good. You have to run hot with you'd have to draw subtlety and enough stuff just to get you in the game. So no.
Yeah, imagine registering like the Wandering Emperor while your opponent plays Overlord.
Yeah, it's like cool. Yeah.
What about you, Drew? Big question mark of the Discord call here. What would you be playing in Modern?
I think it would surprise you.
As much as I desperately want to play Merfolk again, it's just like Josh was saying, for control, Modern's just too cost efficient. That deck is unfortunately not well positioned right now, we'll say. If you'd asked me like 2 weeks ago, I'd say I would learn the Grinding Breach deck, because I think that deck just has such a high power level, especially with Mox Opal unbanned. With Ketchamos around, with the graveyard hate, I feel like that's kind of pushed aside. So I'd probably join Matt on the Dimir Murktide plan. I think that deck just seems so sweet.
Yeah. So no one here is going to play Eldrazi, huh?
No,
that would be okay. That's a good point. I really like that deck. I think
the deck is sweet.
I would not be shocked if that deck just crushes Charlotte. Like if it goes on a run, because that deck hits you from so many different angles. You can lose to Fleshraker. You can lose to K-Command. You can lose to just getting cheesed by Karn. And you can obviously the line of just K-Command, slamming Emrakul, haha. The whole deck is just so impressive. And I really like that deck. That would be another deck. If I had 4 Emrakul the Promised Ones, I could probably get talked into playing that, because it's like Tron, except you're not just solo.
Why doesn't that deck play the One Ring?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Great question, dude. What the hell?
Bad deck building. But
it's rewind time.
Yeah, the one thing I do like about the Eldrazi ramp deck is it's not like Tron where you just take out one land, the whole deck just falls apart. It's so solid. I do like that deck a lot.
Yeah, I think if I were to go to Charlotte, I've been playing Yogg for a long time, and Yogg is probably better now than it's been in a long time, thanks to Dredger's Insight. There's a lot more weird, cheesy ass lines you can take with it now. But I've been playing this Brood Scale combo deck a lot lately, and it gets to play all of the crazy Eldrazi stuff. You get all the Eldrazi lands, you get K commands, and you get an Emrakul, but you also just have like a turn 3 combo pretty consistently. So that deck has been a lot of fun to play. So I think I'm probably leaning more towards that one right now, actually.
And as someone who perennially always hates Modern, I will say I think Modern is decent right now. I think Modern it's fine. It's not as bad, nearly as bad as I thought it would be.
I don't know about that.
But I think it's okay. Breach obviously probably goes over the line.
Yeah, I think Breach. I'm fine with Black White being the best deck in the format. I don't like.
From a power level standpoint. From a power level standpoint, I think Breach probably should go. But from
Underworld Breach should have gone a long time ago.
Yeah, but for an overall format, I think the format's fine. I think the format is way more palatable now than it was before the unbans. The unbans, it was if you're not playing Boros, and what are you doing here? So,
but also the One Ring being gone opened up a lot of other decks.
The other thing, the One Ring made so many feel bad games where the games was just like, oh, I wonder how the game's gonna. Oh, of course, One Ring, and
Yeah.
oh, it has 4 counters on it. Maybe our opponent's gonna die. Oh no, they're just gonna play another one. So, the play style is a lot better now, more so than power level. Like the play experience is a lot better than I thought it would be. So I was wrong in that aspect. I think modern is better than I thought it would be. Could there be room for improvement? Of course, but I think compared to what we've been having in modern, where it's just been a 1 to 2 deck format, I think it's a little bit better.
Yeah. I think kind of on that same topic, Aspiring Spike talks about it a lot too, but like he was talking about how like since the One Ring has been banned and all the unbans have happened, there's been a very like interesting meta shift. Like every few weeks a new deck kind of pops up to take over the top few decks, you know. And it kind of like starts cycling through. Like when everything was unbanned, creativity was like the deck to beat, you know, and now it is completely gone. And I feel like maybe not with Breach around as much, but I feel like we're gonna start seeing that a little more and more. Hopefully, now that we have some cool new toys to play with.
I cannot.
I think those are all.
You go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
I think those are all really good signs for me. This weekend will probably be kind of the telling sign for it all, because this is one of the first like really big modern events of it a while since the ban/bans. So it could be that there's a handful of people that figured out just grinding. What Breach is just like the hands down the best deck and just make that the entire top 8 or whatever. Or it could be really diverse. I think this weekend's really going to be the sort of telling sign for Modern's at in the long run.
I also cannot believe we're talking about unbans. I cannot believe that Faithless Looting has done nothing. I would admit I was wrong.
It's not.
I thought when that card got unbanned, I was like, oh my god! Like flashbacks of 2019 awful Magic came back to my head, where every deck was linear and every deck was just a graveyard deck, and it was
It's rewind time.
Yeah, literally. So I thought that's what were gonna happen, and little did I know. If anything, it shows just how depressing the power creep has been in Modern and just in Magic in general. Because that card isn't sniffing any deck in Magic right now, especially in Modern. Because MH3 or just Modern Horizons has shifted the goalpost so far to the right that like it can't even compete anymore. It's just not. It's literally card negative, and in a age where everything has no downside, everything is just pushed to the moon. It's obsolete now, and I'm so shocked.
I think the highest tier deck that plays looting is the Hollow One variants. And not gonna lie, they look pretty sweet with new Mako, but yeah, I mean you can't really afford to play looting right now. It's crazy. You know what? I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised at all. But Splinter Twin sucks so bad. So, I wanted it to be so good. I played the shit out of Splinter Twin, but I mean, it's horrible. And they're trying to make it so good with they're trying to shove in like Tamios and Flare of Denials and all this kind of stuff, and it just doesn't work.
Fun deck. I think it's a fun one to bring to your FNM. I don't think it's worth bringing to honestly an RC. You probably could spike an RCQ with it, but like anything above that is.
Shout out to Drew's favorite Magic player, Nikachu. He had a tweet the other day that I thought was really accurate, and it was like unbanning Twin was 100% a mistake, because now it's just absolutely tainting the legacy of that card, because a card that was historically great and strong is now just been, again, much like Faithless Looting, has just been power crept into the dirt. Like if you play Splinter Twin and you lose to Splinter Twin nowadays, it's like, back in the day, if you lost to Splinter Twin, it was like, what did I do wrong? Now when you lose to Splinter Twin, it's like, what did I do wrong? But in the other way, it's like, am I just the worst player of all time? In a format where in Holy Heat and Solitude and all these other cards exist, I lost to this. So it's insane. It shows my age, and that's why I have gray in my beard now, because I remember when Splinter Twin, everyone had to have a Spells Kite main board. Everyone had to have a Splinter Twin plan, or you weren't going to win. So
this is good times.
Good times. Long time ago. Good times though.
We should make a format that's
Before my time.
It's like pre-modern, but before MH.
Yeah.
I
think they call it pure modern.
We'll call it postmodern
expressionism.
Modern, pointillism, materialism,
Pointillism.
We'll call it.
Call it post pre-modern, pre-postmodern.
Pre-modern, post pre. like.
Anyways,
Are you going
premodern.
nuts?
There's the segue. We did it.
So,
If I was, I'll say one more thing with that. If I was smart enough, I would play Titan. Can any of you explain to me how Titan wins now?
Looping. That's all I know. Looping.
Looping what?
Looping. Looping lands. Looping lands
loop the
and
land?
shifting woodland and
How do you do
analyst.
that? How do you do that?
if I was to play Titan, I would just play a Titan and hope I have 2 amulet effects, and I would just look at my opponent with the eyes that say you lose, and I would hope that they'd believe me. Because if they made me go through the combo, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I would just go. It'd be like the old scape shift player. They go scape shift for 7, and it's like, oh shit, you got me. I would do the same thing where it's like Titan kill you. They go, you got it.
Titan kill you.
They make me go
and then
I have no idea.
all they have to do to win the game is how.
Yeah.
You got me. You got me.
You got me.
If I was playing Titan and I got paired against someone like Reed Duke, I'm cooked. Like, it's over. Like, there's no way I'm gonna win. If you just end up, all right, let's see it. It's like, well, shit. I didn't.
What do you mean? What do you? I played the Titan. I played it.
I guess I'll get
I
my
did the
2
thing.
fours and put them in the field untapped.
No, I
so-
got
was going to say I did that exact same thing to a Croc Clan Ironworks player. I can't remember if I told this story on the podcast or not, but I literally did that to a guy when KCI was a thing. It was we were at a tournament. I'll try to speed through this. Doesn't know Johnny has a heart out, but like I was at a tournament and I saw a guy and I compared against him. I was like, I recognize this guy. He's like a grinder from the area, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And we started playing, and he got to where he was doing the loop with KCI, and he said, so he kept looking at me while he was doing. He's like, I've got a loop here. So you see, I'm doing this. I've got a loop, and I said, okay. Proceed with your loop, because he hadn't shown a way to kill me, and he did it, and then he fizzled, and then he passed the turn back, and then we drew. It was like you were really hedging on people just conceding to you, saying, "You see this loop here? I got this." I'm like, "No, show me a way to kill me," and he wasn't able to do it.
Was it LSV that went through an entire tournament playing ad nauseum, but didn't actually have ad nauseum in his deck?
He didn't have a grape shot or like a
yeah,
kill.
he didn't have
Whatever,
it was
tendrils,
Thorn.
yeah, not
It
a
was Thorn.
nauseum.
He didn't have a tendrils in the sideboard.
Yeah.
But
So he would go through the loop and be like, all right, I have
to add to
tendrils
what
or
you said-
tendrils.
to add to what you said, Matt, and I will say this as quickly as I can. My favorite KCI story will always be Drew's brother playing Storm, and he got paired against KCI at SCG Louisville, and the KCI player goes, "I'd like to present a loop," and this is game 2 or 3. It's post board, and Drew's brother goes, "Okay," and so the guy does the loop, and he goes, "All right." In response to this one, he goes, "Quick and grape shot."
Yeah.
I forgot about that. John would not put down Quicken for the next year after that.
The whole table lost their mind. Just quick and grape shot. I wish I could see the Moto Storm trigger. Just
That's
It was
pretty
like
great.
Bad face.
Man, do you know
It
how
was
big
good.
brain you must feel after doing that? Oh my
but
god.
good. It was perfect.
Oh my god.
All right, let me before I have to go, let me hear Drew's quick thoughts on premodern.
Or we could do that on another podcast because we have 4 minutes.
No.
Okay.
Okay. This will be a lead
Premodern
into the next one.
is Premodern. It's a very good format, I think. Just from the fact of like, other than people honest that we've talked about, I've not seen any like big about it. But it's a really strong format. It's a lot of great decks they can play. We've gotten to play a couple tournaments in Birmingham lately. I think everyone had a great time. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things about that we can do on another podcast. But overall, I think it's just an amazing format that I'm excited to explore a lot more in the future.
It's a fun one. It's really cool. One of the premise of it is basically having cards, playing cards that shined, pre-modern, like Phyrexian Dreadnought, Squee with Survival of the Fittest, Hit
Is-
Rack is
is-
also popular.
Is pre-modern back when like was it called block? What was modern called
It was
before
extended, I think.
extended? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Is
it's
that
more-
like kind of where this is from? Like that time?
Pre-modern, I believe, and I could be wrong, Drew, you may know this, but I believe it's everything from 4th edition all the way to 8th edition.
It's a Scourge.
I-
So
or-
right before.
Yeah,
It's
so,
4th edition to Scourge.
yeah, or not 8th edition, because 8th edition obviously has the modern card border, but before that. But it's weird because there are cards that are absolutely just freaking busted that are legal in the format, and they just don't do as much. And the biggest thing for me that I noticed for pre-modern is if you're playing a deck that has more than 2 colors, God bless you. Because the mana base in pre-modern, you're playing in a format where Wasteland is legal, Choke is legal, what's the name of the one that blows up all Boil is
Yeah,
legal.
Boil.
Like mana bases like are in danger in this format. So if you're playing a 3-colored deck, I hope you have your reflecting pools, because otherwise you're going to be in for a really bad time. But it is a very fun
Right,
format, and there's like 20 different decks you can play and have a viable chance.
That's what's the coolest part about it. It's that it's a format with a select amount of cards, but the meta changes.
Yeah.
Like the top deck is burned right now, but it's like 9% of the meta. And then there's like the Rock. There's like Survival of Fittest decks. There's Dead Guy Elf.
Oath of Druids.
Oath of Druids.
Oath of Druids Ponza. It's not even an Oath of Druids combo deck. It's a Ponza deck that blows up your lands and wins with Terravor.
The funniest thing is the tier decks is burn at like $90, and then you have Oath of Druids at like $4,500 because it has Mox
Diamonds and all that stuff. It's ridiculous.
followed by the Rock at like $100.
Yeah.
I gotta play Deranged Hermit. You know, that card does make squirrels.
It does make squirrels.
Make squirrels.
Really good with Phyrexian
Yeah.
Tower.
Yeah. Also, you can play gold border cards in real tournaments.
Yeah. So, but shout out to the Solution, the best Jeskai control deck ever made. It's fantastic. Drew, what do you play in pre-modern?
I play Dead Guy Ale. So just like a little $90 deck that wants to go turn 1 Dark Ritual into Hypnotic Spectre. Try to make you discard your hand, and if it doesn't do that,
you don't play it
I
anymore.
lose, I guess.
You left one of your cards at my house, and I'm keeping it.
So Orzhov
take.
no more
Merfolk.
free mind rock.
Hot take: the strongest card in pre-modern might actually be Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is so powerful in that format.
Have y'all ever played a Hypnotic Spectre? That card,
It's strong.
slaps.
It's got to be
That
either
card
Dark Ritual.
slaps.
It's got to be either Dark Ritual or Survival of the Fittest. Both of those cards are just absolutely filthy in the format.
What if you played both of them?
I
I
don't think a deck does, but all I know is watching my dad play against Survival of the Fittest. His opponent cast Allurin, and he slammed down a counterspell. And when the
Wait,
guy-
Allurin is legal?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then when
Is there
the
anything
guy-
good to play
And
off
then
of
when
it?
the Allurin player pass turn my dad, he draws another counterspell, passes it to the other player, and the player casts Survival of the Fittest. My dad looks at his hand and goes, "Yeah, that resolves." My dad lost the game on the spot because you're not beating a resolved Survival of the Fittest. That card is way too good.
really good. I think we're at the 9 o'clock, but like we can do a pre-modern podcast next week where we just
Yeah,
talk about
well,
how much we-
this is kind of like
to get the water boiling.
this is kind of like a teaser for I guess, yeah, because Johnny has a heart out now, and we can this is kind of a teaser for a pre-modern special that we'll be doing, since that's something that is kind of growing in interest in our community. So we definitely want to cater to people in the players in the Southeast, and especially around the Alabama area where we play. So that's kind of what we're here for. But yeah, no, I think this is fun. Charlotte's going to be a lot of fun. We'll probably have a debriefing, a post-mortem, if you will, of the tournament to talk about it. But yeah, I think we will call it there. We're right at the 45-minute mark, so this is a nice round episode, so I think we can call it. But anyway, Josh, since you're joining, you can do the line.
Oh, it's been a while since.
Yes, it has.
Do you even remember it?
I do, actually. And as always, the best part about Magic is the gathering. So take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
I never left.